What is going on, everybody? How's everyone doing tonight? Coming on live, kind of an unexpected live, and that's because of all the comments that I got on my recent video that I put out talking about Social Security, continuing disability reviews. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the downsides that nobody never talks about when living overseas. Okay, I'm going to keep this all the way 100 because I understand that most people, when they make a decision to leave the U.S., some feel like, and it's in most cases it is the best decision they ever made was to leave the U.S. That's cool. Don't have a problem with that. I did it myself. Definitely not going to argue with people that feel that way. But people need to understand, okay, especially people who keep asking about, okay, well, what about people who live overseas? The first thing you need to understand when it comes to people who live overseas, you left. You made the choice to leave. Nobody forced you to leave. You left. All right. And I want to bring my man Love and Freedom on as soon as he gets back to his house. He's actually driving right now. And I'm going to have him come on so he can actually give some more real world things of what I'm talking about. But until he gets in a situation where he can get on, I want to say a few things before I get to the comment section, which is this. If you're just thinking about living overseas, okay, and you're still dealing with our federal government, because everybody's not the same that lives overseas. There are some people who retired and have annuities from other places. There's people who have 401ks that they're living off of, people who saved their money their entire life and they're living on that. And then you have those of us who some income, not the majority of mine, but some people have their entire income comes from the federal government, whether it's VA or Social Security. And for those of you who are in those situations where your entire income comes from the government and you make that decision to live in another country, hopefully you've done enough research and you understand all of the downsides of the decision that you're making. So I want to give you guys some clear examples of what I'm talking about. Let's start on the VA side because a lot of you guys who watch are veterans. And there's some of you guys who watch who are just Social Security only. But let's just start with the VA side. Here's what people overseas who are not in the US are missing when they're not in the US, okay, when it comes to the VA. If you become homeless all of a sudden, you do have a counselor that you can go to in the States that can at least put you in a halfway house, if not find you a flat out apartment. That's a benefit you get when you're in the States. There's nobody overseas that does that for the VA, especially for you guys that like to say it's a VA overseas. That's another reason you guys should understand there is no VA over in these countries. Similar situation, you need a meal. I don't think some of you guys realize how many people in the States depend on that voucher every day to go to the cafeteria at the VA hospital and get a meal. How many people depend on that counselor to get clothes? Because that counselor knows all these different locations to send these veterans to get clothes, to get shoes, to get meals, to get places to stay. Okay? When you leave the US, you're no longer going to have that. You can't go screw up all your money, then go to the VA and say, you know, I screwed up. I don't have nothing to eat at home. I don't have no way to pay my bills. There's no counselor that'll tell you to go to this church and give them your bills. They'll pay them. There's no counselor to say, go to this spot over here. They're going to give you some clothes that you can wear. There's nowhere in these countries that these veterans are claiming that are VAs that this is possible. That's not going to happen. Okay? That's not going to happen. Now, CMP exams when you're overseas. CMP exams in the States, they're going to reimburse you for going to that CMP exam. If you got to stay in a hotel, you coming out of the sticks, you somewhere in the country, you got to drive into the city. Okay, you need to be there for 2 days for an exam. Uncle Sugar going to pay you all your money back for that. As long as you file, as long as you put in a claim for it, they're going to give you your money back. When you're overseas and you got to go to the embassy to file for something, to take care of something, and say like I'm here in Medellin and I got to fly to Bogota and be in Bogota for the next 3 days to take care of business with the VA. Guess who's got to pay for all that? That wouldn't be Uncle Sam. That would be me. I got to pay for the round trips. I got to pay for the taxi to and from. I got to pay for the hotel. I got to pay for the taxi to and from the embassy while I'm there. I got to pay for all my meals. I got to pay for everything. Am I going to get reimbursed for that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Those are downsides. The same way with Social Security. You think when you file with Social Security here and they tell you to come in for an appointment and you are not in the same city as the embassy, that somehow they're going to give you that money back that you had to spend for the hotel and all these? Absolutely not. You're not getting that back. You're not getting a dime of that back. Say you overseas and you want to buy a property. Now there's some places like the DR, I believe in Panama, since we had my man Urban over, and some other places where you can buy a property in your name, not in somebody else's name, in your name, and you're not paying any taxes. Come to Colombia, you're still paying taxes. So I want to make sure you all understand this scenario. You buy a house in the States, Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Alabama, Oklahoma, and a few of these other states. You know how much you're paying in taxes? Zero. But you're going to pay taxes here. You're paying them here. Think about all the other benefits that you get in the States, you're never going to get here. Now, I'm not telling you all this to make it sound like being in the States is much better than being overseas. But I want you all to understand what you are giving up when you leave the United States and you come to a country like this. If you are not prepared, if you don't have the income, you're not going to make it. Because there is no fallback here. In the States, there are so many fallback plans in the United States of America. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. As a veteran, you go to the States right now with nothing. With nothing. Get on the news and tell everybody you got nothing. Watch what comes pouring in. Take your ass on the news here in Colombia and tell them you got nothing. You're a disabled American veteran. First of all, they don't even know what the hell you saying. Second of all, there ain't gonna be nobody out there trying to give you this and give you that. You're a gringo. You're supposed to have it together. But those are the downsides. So anytime somebody comes on and they paint the perfect picture for you veterans who want to live outside the U.S., understand all the things that you were getting in the States, all the benefits, all the free shit you get in the States from the VA and from every other location, that stops. When you get on that plane and you cross and you land over here, you get off that plane, you just another gringo walking around. That's all you are. Never forget that. That's the downside. That's where a lot of these people go wrong. They watch too many of these pervert channels and they think everything is the same what they just left. You are 1,000, not 100, 1,000% wrong. Wrong. Now, my man Love and Freedom had told you guys, a lot of you guys who want to try to live overseas, start in a border town. That's the best advice he can give. Start in a border town. Why? Because if there's an issue, you can't handle the issue where you are in Mexico, you can drive your ass right across the border to wherever it is, whether it's the VA office, Social Security office, whatever office it is, and handle it. You can't do that when you're overseas. Things that you can do in the States that'll take an hour may take you a month or 2 months because you live in another country. People never tell you that. Something as easy as sending a fax. Can anybody who lives in Colombia right now tell me where you can go send a fax? Other than buying a fax machine, where can you go just to send a fax? Anybody that's in Colombia can please chime in and tell me, where can you go send a fax? Because unless you know how to do it online with a service or do it on your own, sending stuff to the VA or sending it to Social Security without having to buy a fax machine, that's another downside. Little things, dude, that we take for granted in the States, you guys are simply able to do as easy as pie, takes months for us to do when you're living overseas. Again, these are things people never tell you about. They always want to tell you about the great things. Here's another one for you when dealing with the VA. In the States, I don't care where you live. I don't care where your address is, where in the woods you live. If you need a ride to the VA, you call them up, they coming to get you. Either the VA is going to get you, or a volunteer service is going to pick you up, or a contracted service is going to pick you up. Somebody's going to pick you up and take you to your appointment, without a doubt. I don't give a damn if you 400 miles away. You are going to get to that appointment. Here, you could be 2 miles down the street. There's nobody coming to pick you up unless you pay for it. You got to pay for that. Uncle Sam ain't reimbursing you. You're not in the States. Again, the key thing to remember whenever someone gets on here and says, I don't think it's fair. Why is it not fair? You left. You left. And when you left, you didn't go to U.S. territories. You didn't go anywhere where the U.S. has a presence for the VA. You went to a total different country. And when you went to that country, you incurred everything that comes along with it. So if you're not prepared for that, there's nobody's fault but your own. That's the truth. There's no way you can sit there and keep making up excuses. Well, I think or I feel. They told you, go to the website. It explains it verbatim. They tell you verbatim. If these are the things that you need, if these are the things you wish to accomplish, this is where you need to go. And if it doesn't work out for you, that's on you. The VA home loan certificate, how much is it worth now? $500,000 plus? You'll never get the opportunity to use it living in a country like this. You're never going to be able to use that. But you can in U.S. territories. You can in the U.S., but not here. Never going to happen. For all the positive things that are great about living overseas, and there are a lot of positive things about living overseas. There's a lot of great things about living overseas. Everybody is not in the same situation where they can just jump up and leave and go and expect things to be the same. That's why I am so emphatic when people talk about the VA in these countries. Show me one location, VSO, DR, Medivet, here, HCA, that's going to do a tenth of the things that they do for you guys in the United States of America. You show me one of these services that's going to put shoes on your feet when you walk in the door, like they will in the States. Show me one. Show me one. None of them are going to do that. Show me one that's going to give you a ride from your house to that spot and then back, and it costs you nothing. Show me one. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. You become homeless and you're in the street. What they going to do for you? What can they do? You had eaten in days. They can give you a voucher to go to the VA. You can sit there and eat as much as you want. What they do that at here? They don't. There's too many of you all living on the margins, listening to all the great things, but you're not realizing all the things that you use in the States. You forgot about all that. You need a ride? They give you a bus card. I forgot all about that one. They'll give you a bus card for the month. What are you going to do that at here? What that happens? It doesn't. So be careful listening to people that tell you all these wonderful things when you are so dependent on the government and you don't realize all the things that you're dependent on because you're too busy watching women go by on the screen. And you find yourself here stuck with nothing. And again, I'm not bashing. I live overseas. I love it overseas. But I already told you guys what my plan was. The day I get my passport, I'm out. I'm going back to the States. I'm out. I'm headed right back to the U.S. And I'm not trying to talk anybody out of going to wherever country they want to go to. I'm just trying to point out things to you guys that no one never talks about. What are the downsides of living in another country when you're not prepared? All right, who I got on with me now? Mr. B, what's going on? Love and freedom. Yeah, I know you driving from Mexico. I am first. Always wanted to say that. Good evening. What's up, Mr. Collins? Models and bottles, global paper. What's going on? Let's see. I was listening to Bobby D. Okay. Yeah, I was on earlier with him, but I guess he had internet issues and he went out. I'll go check out his video later. Damn it, love and freedom, Mr. B. Let's see. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Mr. Chance. What's up, Markel? Nobody forced you to leave the U.S. and nobody's forcing you to continue to stay overseas. Life is a choice. 1,000% agree. Go wherever your heart tells you. To thy own self be true. Correct. And I'm not trying to tell Mr. Chance nobody not to go anywhere they want to go. I'm just trying to point out things to a lot of these veterans who depend on a lot of these things, who don't think because they see women walking by on the screen, or they hear this person make it sound so wonderful and so glorious, and they somebody who doesn't have their finances together, somebody who doesn't have, their life together, and who depends on a lot of the things that these counselors and these services at the VA do, which you're never going to get overseas. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. You can start out living in a border town in the U.S. until you get all your ducks. That was the best advice you gave yet, love and freedom. For people who want to try to live in another country, go try a border town. Because if something goes wrong, walk across the border, drive across the border, go handle whatever it is, and then you can go right back. Unlike here, I got to schedule a flight. If I got to go take care of something in the States, I got to take a flight and either fly to Puerto Rico or fly down to Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, whatever. I can't just drive or walk across the border. It doesn't work that way here. What's up, Eggplant? Happy New Year, Markel and everyone. Yep. Happy New Year's to you. Let's see. Here in the States, you can start a GoFundMe now. Yeah, you can start one over here too. Let's see. People need to take responsibility and accountability and have a plan for living abroad. Must have an exit plan in case of an emergency or if things change. That's what I'm trying to point out, Mr. Chance. There are a lot of people, and I don't think people realize how dependent they are on some of the services in the States. And they go, okay, well, I want to live overseas. That's fine. Move wherever you want. Like I said, move wherever your heart's desire. Understand where you're going. Especially when they tell you it's a VA there. Because that's why I'm adamant. Because when they hear VA, they're thinking, I'm going to get picked up. They're going to help me out with my meals. If I lose my place, they're going to help me out. They're going to help me with this. They're going to help me with that. Here, they ain't helping you with a goddamn thing. Nothing. I'm going to repeat that one last time. They are helping you with nothing. That's why it's nice to visit, but at the end of the day, I'm bringing my ass back to the good old USA. I hear you. Okay, let's talk about the upside. No, people have talked about and basically lied about a lot of the upsides, to be quite frank with you. That's cool. But I'm talking about all the things, especially when you all try to tout that this is here in this country. That's fine. But none of the things that I mentioned, you're going to catch in any of those countries. Not a one. Not a one. Zero. That's why it is so vital that you do your research, that you understand where you're going, that you understand there ain't no help for you like it is in the States. There ain't no program you can fall back on if you lose everything here and you got nothing. There is no Section 8 services or you go sign up for emergency food stamps or any of that. None of that's here for you. Zero of that here for you. Nothing. No. As a foreigner living in a country like this, you're expected to have it together. You're expected to be on point. And it's too many times you see them here, and I'll be with my friends, and they're like, wow, why is that gringo on the bus? Extranjero. Why is he riding the bus? I got no answer for you. No answer for you at all. Thanks for keeping it real. Too much false information on social media, especially because you got to understand with YouTube, people want to provide a show. They want to provide entertainment, and that's cool. I'm not knocking anybody that does that, but there's too many people that come to countries like this and they get stuck because they hear something that's not true and they go there and they expect what they had in the US. Far from it. Far from it. Hello, Markel. You're absolutely right. That's why at the end of the day, it's nice to visit. But as a veteran, you should always keep your home base in the USA. Like I said, bro, I left for a particular reason. And I'm here to get my passport. I already, I wanted a second passport. I'm too deep in now to leave. I really do have the opportunity to go back once the caregiver program is available to people who are in my era, which is Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and that's a nice little chunk of change I could pick up there easily and just go right back. But I'm too far in now here to give up because I've come this far to get my passport. But I'm just trying to keep it honest and keep it real at the end of the day. Because for all the things people complain about and say bad about the United States of America, at the end of the day, the majority of people who live outside the country get their money from where? The United States of America. And it's hard to bash somewhere that's paying you. And then you want to complain that they're not doing everything for you. Well, you left where they were doing everything for you. So who's to blame for that? You want to blame somebody because if your child all of a sudden gets up and walks out the door and says, I never want to see you again, they're out there struggling. Who made that decision to leave? They did. So how's that your fault? I don't get that way of thinking, dude. You expect the government to do everything for you, but they do things for you, but where you were, you didn't want to be, you left. What's up, Markel? I just think you have to live wherever your heart is. Finances play a big part in it. The more finance you have, the better quality of life you will have. It matters of I don't know what that is. Oh, dollars and cents. It's a matter of dollars and cents. Absolutely. And all I'm trying to do, Mr. Johnson, is point out that a lot of these veterans who watch these channels, they're financially not in the same place as everybody else to travel to these countries. Because some of these guys have to save for months just to get a ticket because they hear people online say, oh, well, you can live over here for $1,000 or you can live over here for $800. But they never describe the conditions. They never show them what the place looks like. And most importantly, there's no VA here to fall back on. In the States right now, and to keep it 100, in the States right now, if 90% of you guys lost everything you had in the States right now, there's 2 or 3 places you can go right now as a disabled veteran that's going to help you right away. You won't even have to sleep on the street one night, not one. But there's too many times, bro. People hear BS, they go, they get stuck. Now they online begging and crying, GoFundMe pages and everything else because they got misinformation. And all I'm trying to do is give you guys both sides. There's tons of videos out there showing you all the positives of leaving the US and living in another country. And for the most part, I have no debate with a lot of the stuff that's said. But there's so many downsides to that as well that people never tell you guys about. Paying for all my travel was worth it because Uncle Sam is paying me what he owes me. Okay, there you go, Mr. Clark. Markel tells real facts because I utilize the service and they darn sure don't have them in Mexico. Hell no, they ain't got them in Mexico. They're not in Mexico. Let's see. In Panama, we have a VSO service that help veterans with fax and a lot of other services dealing with the VBA. Okay. They help them with faxes and services with the VA. So basically, they only help them with the compensation side. And they'll send them and outsource them to a doctor, a physical therapist, or a psychiatrist. Got it. Okay. Mr. Brown, if one of those veterans become homeless, what services does VSO offer them in Panama? If one of those veterans that's there don't have no food in his house, has no clothes, has lost everything, What services does VSO offer that veteran? I'm being 100 because I know you're proud of where you are. You've been living in Panama for 18 years, and a lot of these questions that I'm pushing back on come from you. And it's still one of those things where you're not seeing all the services that veterans get in the States where you left as you try to promote VSO. VSO is not going to do 90 to 95% of what you could get in the States. They're a service. What they're doing is no different than what I would do or anybody else would do. They're not veteran service officers. They don't have any affiliation with the United States of America. So there is nothing, quite honestly, that they're doing I couldn't do, you couldn't do, anybody else couldn't do. Not one damn thing. And I'm telling you the truth. If all they're doing is sitting there sending faxes, I could buy a fax, set it up in my place. Who needs to send a fax? Send it to my email and I'll send it forward for you. Think about what you're saying right now. If that what they're offering veterans, what are they doing that you can't do? Because they're not government employees. So what exactly are they doing that you couldn't do on your own? That's like here in Colombia. If I didn't want to go to the ACA anymore, I would simply go out, find a doctor, find a psychiatrist. I don't need a pharmacist to get my own medications. Find a physical therapist. Pay them all myself. Get reimbursed through FMP. The exact same thing that they're doing. So help me understand exactly what they're doing that I couldn't do on my own. That's all I'm asking. There's no limit on the loan now. I think, wow. So there's no limit on the home loan. Okay. You're right. I need the US and the VA. I'm not saying you, I don't want to get this twisted with everybody to make it sound like I'm bashing where I am or people who live overseas. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to point out to people, and a lot of these people who really shouldn't be traveling, in my opinion, things that they're not going to get when you leave your home country and you come to a country like this. That's all I'm doing. I'm not saying that what I did was wrong. I'm not saying what anybody else did was wrong. I'm just pointing out to you guys who are thinking about moving to another country, use this and really research and understand what you're doing. You know your finances better than anybody. You know your habits better than anybody. If you come here and you have a mental breakdown, where are you going? In the States, you know where you can go. You can go check yourself into the hospital. Here, where you going? Where you going? How they gonna handle that? Who you gonna call? You understand what I'm saying? There's too many times people try to make things sound better than what they really are. And I'm gonna say this one more time. There is nothing any of these services are doing in any of these countries you cannot do on your own. Not a one. What's up, Mr. Miles? How you doing? Salute. Let's see. What's up, Wayne? What's going on? Could you talk more about the downsides of living abroad on SSDI? Like what, for example? So with SSDI, let's just say you get a CDR in the mail. Well, first let's start with this because there's too many people that's on SSDI or SSI not letting the government know where they are. And you people on SSI, no, you're not supposed to be outside the US anyway, no more than 30 days. And you know there's several of them living in the Philippines. There's probably some of them living in the DR, some living here, and they know they're not supposed to do that. But the number one downside and the number one reason, again, why a lot of people lose their benefits is CDR. People lie about where they are. They still claim that they're in the States when they know they're not. And when they get an exam set up a day or two after they get that letter, they don't have no money to get back to the States that quick. So what are their options at that point? They just ignore the letter. And then Social Security at some point cuts it off. That's how they get your attention. Same way with the VA. If they sending you information and you don't respond, they know how to get your attention. Cut your money off. You're gonna call all day, every day when they cut your money off. But that's one of the biggest downsides is people lying about where they are. So when handling a CDR, okay, it's the same process. You fill out the application, you mail it in, but in this instance, you're going to deal with the embassy. And sometimes, not all the time, but there are some occasions where you may have to go to the embassy to take care of whatever it is. And if you're not in the same city where the embassy is, that's a cost you incur. You're not going to get reimbursed for. If you have to have an exam, they're going to try to set you up for an exam in the city that you're in, depending on how big the city is. You're in some small little town in some little barrio outside of the city, you probably going to have to take a trip somewhere, dude, to get seen. That's another downside. Okay. But dealing with Social Security, man, I would tell you guys, when you got your award letter, you should have your date on that award letter for your CDR, especially if you're thinking about living overseas and you know they expect your disability to improve within the next 2 to 3 years. That's a hell of a risk you taking, because even if you fill that application out, that form out to continue your disability, they may decide, nope, we don't believe you're disabled anymore. Now you got to try to find a lawyer in the States to take your case. They're not going to take it for free like they did before. You're going to have to pay them. And depending on the lawyer that you get, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 retainer. While they're in the States trying to handle that, then the lawyer's sending you emails. Hey, I need you to fill out this form and send it back. I need you to fill this out. I need you to get these records. There's a lot that's going to be going on that you could easily handle in the States, but you're overseas. Now it takes even longer for you to get things done. Those are all downsides, man. I'm not saying that's going to happen to everyone in every situation. I'm just trying to explain the hypotheticals that could happen. Because of my mental health, the VA is helping me build a smart home, which will be finished in May. Okay, Michael? And you're not going to get that here. No. The independent living program, you cannot use that overseas. Not going to happen. Okay? Because somebody's going to ask, well, can I do the independent living? No, you cannot. Can't use it overseas. What's up, Mr. Man? How you doing? Markel and family. What is this? Live, love, and enjoy life this year. All right, T-Mix. Let's see. Women don't want no broke. These are some great points, bro. Thanks for the video. All right, Angel. Look, again, I'm not trying to talk anybody out of going anywhere they want to go. Okay? I'm not. All I'm trying to do, man, is make you guys aware of what it's like living overseas, especially when you're dealing with our government. You all already know how hard it is dealing with our government in the States. Imagine they're trying to do the same things you guys are doing in another country. In another country. And you're trying to get online, and then sometimes you're not even allowed. Like right now, I can go to e-benefits, but I can't even log on to va.gov. Can't even do it. I can't even get on. If I didn't have my American phone and use a hotspot to my computer that I'm using right now, I could never log on to va.gov. Could never do it. Okay? That's all I'm trying to get you guys to understand, man. And then when it comes to mail, if you're not using the mail service, right? Because I started out having Social Security send my mail directly to this address. It used to take 2, sometimes 3 months to get a letter that's backdated that far back. Okay? Stuff that they like, okay, here is your thing for taxes, the form that they send you for your taxes. Then, like now, they probably going to mail it out pretty soon. I won't get it till right around the end of March, beginning of April is when I'll get the form. I have to literally call them when I get ready to file my taxes to find the information, or have them email it to me, or see if I can find it another way. That's all a result from living overseas. Something that I would get in the States in 2 or 3 days after they mail it, maybe a week at the most after they mail it, takes up to 3 months for me to get it here. And that's all I'm saying, man. There's a lot of things that we don't think about that when we're in the States, we expect things to run smoothly. It doesn't work that way in a foreign country, bro. For you, those of you who watched that video where I went and got my second shot of Moderna, that took 4 hours, over 4 hours to get one shot. This ain't the States. U.S. Army, Ricky. Mr. Thomas, Happy New Year's to you. Let's see. Now, I don't want all y'all hoodlums trying to come over here to my part of Mexico. Let's see. The home costs $300,000. What home is that? Let's see. Going to get my shirt. That sounds absolutely not. That's your best line from 2022. All right, Mr. Collin. Let's see. Just do your research before you go. But there's too many that don't. I'm telling you. The people that I have met here at this service here, this HCA, and you talk to them after about 10 minutes. And then you wonder, like after 10 minutes, why are you even here? You 30%, you 40%, you living in a hostel? And you like, okay, dude, well, what? I leave it at that. Once they start telling me stuff like that, I go no further. I leave it alone. You ain't even here with $1,500. 30%, 40%, come on, man. And you trying to, you don't even qualify. You're not even getting enough money to qualify to get a pension visa, which you only need $750 to get that. You don't even qualify for that. That should tell people something. But no, these pervert channels have convinced these people that's where they need to be. I'm currently in Medellin, Colombia. All I hear on YouTube channels is the upside, lies, and exaggerations. To be honest, I feel cheated by these guys. What's going on, Gary? How you doing today? Visit, travel, pay to play. But at the end of the day, you better bring your butt back to the USA. Does getting another passport affect your benefits? No, not that I'm aware of. Someone else on here may know something different, but no, not that I'm aware of. No. How would it affect your benefits? You mean me getting a second passport? No. I'm not denouncing my citizenship. That's the thing you got to understand. I'm not saying I don't want to be a U.S. citizen no more. I just want to be a Colombian citizen. Give me a Colombian. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm still going to have my U.S. passport, but I'm going to also have a second passport for Colombia. Easy process. Anybody can do it. You could do it here. You could do it in Mexico. You could do it in DR. You're not denouncing your citizenship. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying now, but if I was denouncing my citizenship, yeah, you wouldn't get nothing from the States. Yep, caretaker, October. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell them now, Miss Smith. I'm trying to tell October of 2022. It's going to be super hard for me to stay here after October, but I'm going to do it because I'm too deep in to give up on what my goal was when I first came here. There's no VA in Thailand. Nope. There might be a third-party service in Thailand, but there's no U.S. government. There's no United States of America Departments of Veterans Affairs in Thailand. Absolutely not. No. Let's see. I traveled to London to visit my girlfriend, but I always return to the good old USA. There is no country like the United States of America. I cannot disagree. If it wasn't for the U.S. and a lot of the things and the benefits that I get from the U.S., there's no way I would be here in Colombia. No way. No way. That's why I never bash where I'm from. The United States is not perfect. By no means is it perfect. By no means is every person in the United States perfect. But what I give up, my passport, everything that I've accomplished from being in the United States to do what? To say I'm a citizen? Absolutely not. No, sir. No, sir. If you have two passports, can you just use any one you want when you go to the airport? Yes, you can. But The thing about having two passports is this. Okay, so other than me going to the US, because I'm always going to use my US passport going to the US, but say there's a country like Argentina, for example. Argentina, right? Colombians don't even need a passport to go to Argentina. They don't need a passport to go to Brazil. They just need a driver's license. That's it. Or excuse me, an ID card. Not even a driver's license, an ID card. Whereas US citizens, you need a passport to enter those countries. That's part of the reason why also I want to get a passport from a different country. You get different benefits. You know, the US carries a lot of weight. That passport is very powerful, but that passport, or just being a US citizen, you need that passport to get in most countries. As a veteran, excuse me, as a Colombian citizen, I don't. I can just enter those countries with just an ID card. People do it here all the time. No big deal. Let's see. They come together better when you think we have a community of vets that help each other. Uh, that's fine, Mr. Brown. Like I said, I'm not here to argue with you about anything, and I get your points, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from when I tell you this. Because as you tout the VSO service, again, I'm waiting on somebody to tell me something that they do that I couldn't do on my own. Because when I file for benefits here, I don't go through no service. I'm not here asking anybody, is there a American Legion and all that here? No, I do it on my own. And there's nothing that they're doing I couldn't do. So when you say they're there helping veterans, sure. With basic things, you could do the same thing. There's nothing they're doing right now that you couldn't do. The only difference is they're getting paid to do it. That's the difference. They signed that foreign medical form for them to make the money. That's the difference. That is the only difference. And if you want to call yourself whatever company in whatever country you're in and start your own business doing the same thing, that's your right to do so. You want to have all the veterans come to you when they come to Panama so you can charge them $360 a pop every time they walk in the door? That's something you can do. But I never want you all to mistake that service for the United States of America. That is nowhere near the United States of America. Those are people who might be ex-veterans. Those are people who may have worked at the VA at one point. Cool. But they have zero affiliation with the United States of America. Zero. Did you ever go to another country and had trouble finding anywhere that accepted American Express or Discover? Discover, yes. I don't know anywhere I've been that accepts Discover card. American Express, years ago, I remember the Dominican Republic didn't take American Express cards. I don't know about now. I haven't tried there in a long time to use an American Express card. Here, they pretty much use it all except Discover. I don't know any country outside the US that uses Discover. I don't know of any. If anybody knows a country that uses Discover, please leave it in the comment section. But I haven't found one country yet that uses Discover card, and I have two. As a disabled person, bend over backwards to assist me and always thank me for my services. Absolutely. That's what I'm telling you. In the US, you're never going to get the same treatment in these countries that you get in the US. Hey, brother, thanks for your help living in Costa Rica, 100% PNT. What's up, Juan? You gave up on living here? Let's see. What border towns are recommend and safe? Where are you trying to go? Because I'm familiar with the ones in Arizona and California. Some of the ones in California. The ones that are in Texas, I've only heard about them. I don't really know anything about the ones in Texas. But I can tell you from personal experience, like when I was in Yuma, Los Algodones, San Luis, they're people that come in and out all there all the time. Like I said, Love and Freedom will tell you if he comes on, you don't even need ID to go into Mexico. You just walk right in. You want to stay there for a few months, whatever, cool. Whatever you need. There's a lot of people when you first walk in that speak English. Perfect English. No problem understanding you at all. But the further you go into Mexico, though, you're going to need to know some Spanish. But in those border towns right there in Yuma, no, you can get away with speaking English. You can get away with a lot of stuff right there. You want to find a place, they'll help you find a place. No problem. All right. They deal with extranjeros constantly, every day. They probably somebody or they're dealing with somebody right now. All right. But again, I don't know where you live. I don't know where you're trying to go. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. I know a lot of people hear about Tijuana right there in San Diego or right on the border. I forgot the little town, whatever it's called, just outside of San Diego. Going into Tijuana, it's cool in Tijuana if you stay away from the tourist side. But again, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you're looking to do. But I know on the backside, that's not dealing with the tourist side that everybody goes to in Tijuana. It's nice there. If you want to go to the beach, that's over there. It's nice. Oops. It's nice over there as well. Sorry. It's nice over there as well. It all depends on what you're trying to do. You know, when you guys say, well, where you recommend, I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know if you want to be on the beach. I don't know if you're trying to look to stay in a place that's nice and quiet. I don't know if you're looking to go party with everybody else. It's hard to answer that question. Let's see. If you have to get help faxing something, you in bad shape. Well, that's the truth here. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's not like these things are readily available like in the States. If I'm in the States and I don't have a fax machine, then I'll just go to what is it? Staples, or what's the other office place? Staples, Office Max, any of those. Hell, you can even walk into FedEx. They'll fax it for you. Or UPS. They'll fax it for you. Here, try it. Let me know how it works out. Let me know how it works out for you. To each his own. Just got to pick the right country. Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to tell nobody not to go. I'm just trying to point out things people never tell you about. I'm glad someone is saying this. One of the benefits of traveling to Canada was knowing that if God forbid something bad happens, my flight home was less than 2 hours away. That's all I'm saying. Now, it's only a 3.5 hour flight from here to Fort Lauderdale. But a lot of times, cats ain't got the money for them flights, man. They barely had enough to get here. Let's see. If they know you're outside the country, especially if you need a passport, where you go. Let's see. If they know you're outside the country, especially if you need a passport, where you go. I'm a little lost on your question, Kevin. On where you go, or they know where you're going. Can you rephrase that? I'm a little lost with that question. Let's see. I'm going to call the broke busters. If you spend your money, you can save money. Pretty much. That's why you should keep a home base in the U.S. Yes, absolutely. I got a spot I could always go to right there in Phoenix, Arizona. All I got to do is make a phone call. Hey, man, I got to come back to the States. I need to chill at your spot for about a week or two. No problem. They got a guest house. I'm good to go. If I got mail that I can't get here, I'll send it to his house. I know it's going to be right there. So I keep places that I can go in the U.S. Until I get whatever it is I need to take care of, and then I'm back out doing whatever I need to do. But she is absolutely 1,000% correct. You always got to have you somewhere to go because you don't know what's going to happen in these countries. You don't know. Like with Bobby D's situation in the Philippines, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, 1,000% the truth. I'd have left. I wouldn't have went through no storm. I'm sorry. I know Bobby D. I'm glad he's safe. I'm glad Lisa D is safe. Me, how far is this storm expected to go in? Okay. Is it going to be in Manila? No, I'm going to Manila. I'll be back when it's done. When's the power going to be back on? Okay. I'll be back when the power's back on. No. I think he went 18 or 19 days without power, services, or nothing. You're a good man, because I can tell you right now, that wouldn't have been me. Wouldn't have been me. I don't know what happened there. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. I might accidentally click something. Where was I? Now I lost where I was. Oh, here we are. Let's see. Is that Seattle behind you, bro? Yes. This image right here? Yes, it is. What's up, Gade? How you doing? Talking eggplant. Speak the truth. I'm just, man, all I'm trying to do is just point out things people don't think about. Let's see. These YouTube videos uh, got me cap. Then the PepsiCo factories, smoke and mirrors. Yeah. Again, though, bro, I'm not trying to knock nobody's channel, but they're entertainment. At the end of the day, you got to remember, it's entertainment. YouTube is entertainment. There is some information that they give out that's real valuable that can help you when you arrive in a country. And then you got some people that are knuckleheads. They're going to tell you anything it takes for you to watch. There's a YouTuber that visit the DR a lot. He said his dream is to make $750 a month so he can live in the DR forever with his girlfriend. Okay. Okay. That's all I can say to that. He also says she lives in a tiny house and he disciplines her just like the local Dominican men do. Doesn't sound like someone to take advice from. I can tell you this, man, and this is real talk. And I remember this one from my time in the DR. He's talking about discipline like Dominicans. Okay, first of all, he's not Dominican. Just like here, you come here and you do something stupid, you're not Colombian. You can get the book thrown at you, especially with domestic violence. Domestic violence in these countries, dude, they don't play that. Now, sometimes in these barrios, you'll hear about these guys doing certain things to these girls. That's because they may be part of a gang. They may be whatever situation. You come here as a foreigner and try that, see what happens to you. Let me know when you get out. How long do you plan on living in Colombia? I plan on living here long enough to get my passport, which should be, what is this? 4 more years to get my passport. The day they hand it to me, I'm out. What's up, Carlo? Let's see. I'll be in Medellin next week with my spouse. Okay. Hopefully you enjoy your time while you're here. You do know the new rules, right? You need vaccinate at least 1 dose. If you don't, you should know the rules, hopefully. And the airlines have them listed as well. Let's see. Costa Rica offering free 2-year visas if you bring in a $3,000 a month at least. Okay. 2 years free. So you don't have, all you doing is applying. You're not paying for anything to get a 2-year visa in Costa Rica, and all you need is $3,000 a month. Wow. I'm assuming that she was just saying you're not paying, hitting this mic. So you're not paying anything. You're not paying 1 dime. Wow. That's what I'm assuming you're saying. Let's see. After all these deployments, it's kind of hard for us vets to get used to living in the U.S., bro. I got no problem. Bro, all I'm doing is pointing out things people never think about. That's it. I think the resources that are available overseas to veterans are not as qualified as the resources in the States, not because of the lack of training, but because of lack of volume to make good RSOs. Okay, so when it comes to resources overseas, I don't think a lot of people, again, it goes back to research, like you said before, because the VA that's in Puerto Rico is supposed to be for all the veterans that live south of the U.S. I don't think most people realize that. That's why that VA in Puerto Rico, for those of you that have been to it, is so freaking large. It's supposed to be for the Caribbean and everyone south of the U.S. So regardless of where you are, from the end of South America, moving all the way up to Mexico, the VA in Puerto Rico is the one you're supposed to be going to. That's the one you should be going to. But these third-party services have figured out a way to make money on veterans who live in these countries by simply setting up services for them to go to. And it may be former VA employees, it may be former veterans, whatever. But the whole point of me telling you all that is you don't have to use them. You can go find everybody you want on your own. You just pay up front and you get reimbursed. That's the difference. That is the only difference. They're charging whoever, and they're waiting to get their money. That way you don't have to pay anything, but you don't have to use them. Might be able to go to Venezuela with the Colombian passport. Yeah, I'm not trying to go to Venezuela, though. I'm not trying to go there. Let's see. People try to live in third world countries like kings, and things don't go as they plan. Correct. Especially when they're talking about coming here with little to no money. That for the life of me, I've never understood, dude. And somebody said, I don't know who said it in a live that I did last week. If you can't make it in the States, there ain't no way in hell you're gonna make it in this country. Because most of the time in these countries that y'all going to that are third world or developing countries, you can't even get a job. So if you couldn't make it where you were, how the hell you think you're gonna make it here? You know, a lot of them come with these pipe dreams of starting a record label or starting a business of some sort when they get him like, dude, you don't even speak the language. How the hell you gonna start a record label? How you gonna start a business? You don't even know what form you're filling out. And then you gotta trust a bunch of people that you think are your friends to actually do everything right for you. Because for all you know, you just signed some papers to give your partner here the whole business. Your name is just on it as a investor. You don't know what you just signed. That's the difference, man. Is cats come, they have no concept of what they're doing. None. You know, they ran some ghetto ass company in the States and they thinking they can come to Colombia and do the same thing. Pipe dream. And how many of them go belly up? How many of them don't have a clue what they just signed up for? Nothing. Or they come here and unfortunately, like the guy in, where was he? Cartagena or Cali, lost his life buying a business, trying to treat it like he was in the States. People don't know where they are. You think you're going to come here and open up a restaurant and charge $5 to $7 for a hamburger? Who the hell going to buy that? Where they can go on the street and get it for 50 cents. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of these people come, no concept, no idea of where they're going because they're thinking U.S. It's a whole different situation here. Totally different. Let's see, Discovery cars, maybe Christopher Columbus. Let's see, some countries are not friendly to other countries. So when you go to those countries, have them stamps your secondary passport, not your primary passport, like from Israel. Yeah, that's like I said, dude, it's going to depend on the situation because there are some things that you can easily do as a Colombian that you can't do as a U.S. citizen, and vice versa. Things you can easily do as a U.S. citizen, they could never do here as a Colombian. So, yeah, it's going to depend on the situation, but that's one of the reasons why, though, I want to get a second passport. Yeah, Discover doesn't seem to be accepted many places. Visa seems to be accepted everywhere, which is great. Did you ever go somewhere they didn't take MasterCard? No, I haven't been anywhere yet. They haven't taken MasterCard. Yeah, everywhere I've been so far, they've taken Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, except when I was in the DR, the American Express. But here, they take everything except Discover. That's the only card I see them not take is Discover. Because I'll look for the Diners Club that's on the back or whatever the other symbol is. I've seen nowhere here. Japan and Israel take Discover cards. Okay. I don't think I'm going to either one of them anytime soon, but I appreciate that. Gabe, let's see. Why y'all brothers call me out on facts? I'm in bad shape. Thank God for Staples. I'm trying to tell you, man, the smallest things here, in the States where you guys are, the smallest things we take for granted until you come somewhere like here and you discover, man, I can't send a fax. Or something as simple as going to the notary, right? We're used to going to a notary in the States. You go to your bank, get it notarized, you in and out 15 minutes. Here is a process. You might be there 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, just getting a notary. I'm telling you this from experience. It may take, don't let some people be there because unlike in the States, we in a line, nobody really gonna try to come up and cut in. Sometimes, occasionally that may happen in the States, but here, let it be somebody they know off the street. They're gonna just walk in, cut right in front of you. They're gonna handle whatever they got, and then you gotta wait even longer. It's little things, man. It's the little things in the States we never think about, never give two thoughts about, that when you come to a country like this, oh, you got to have patience. That's what people have. Well, what's the biggest thing you learn here? Patience with everything. You need patience. Quick story, then I get to the comments. Just today, since when was it? Last Saturday, I've been trying to pay my cell phone bill since last Saturday. Do you know here, when you get ready to pay a bill, they will not take it in advance? If it's due, like my bill is due on the 4th, it was due today. I had to pay it today. I tried to pay it on, not Saturday, excuse me, Monday. I tried to pay it Monday. They could not take it. I said, why you can't take it? I'm trying to pay. In the States, no problem. You want to pay early? They love when you pay early. Here, no. When you do, on the 4th, that's when you pay. Doesn't matter what day you want to just go. No. You on the 4th, that's when you pay. I'm telling y'all, it's different here. It's not the same. I'm done. You're right. I just visited Panama and checked out the Texas Veterans Commission. I still applaud your channel about information. Thanks. No, I'm not trying to shut you down or do anything like that, man. But you're talking about things as if they're doing something that's out of the ordinary that you could not do on your own. And all I'm trying to point out to you, sir, is there is nothing that they're doing, nothing they're saying, nothing they could ever tell you that you couldn't do on your own. Nothing. Because they have no affiliation to the government. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. For all the things that you're pointing out that the VSO does, what affiliation do they have to the VA? None. None. They're not even like the American Legion or the Disabled American Veterans that got an office in their building. These people, they just ordinary people. They're just ordinary people that happen to know some information about the VA. That's it. They're no different than me or anybody else that has a channel on YouTube explaining to some of you guys what you can do to get a clothing allowance, to get a car allowance, to get the housing grant. There's nothing no different. They can have a badge on, they can have patches, they can have a uniform on. All that looks great. Show me where you affiliate with the United States of America. They can't because they have none. I have a generator and will not tolerate power outages for 2 seconds. Bro, even here, I have a Go Zero. What is it? A 150 Go Zero, because we only have air conditioning here. So I don't need a big one. But even I have an emergency generator just in case. You don't know what's going to happen. And that thing was cheap here. It was only, what did I pay? I paid like $120 for it at the home center. Teddy Prettygrass said it best. Wake up, everybody. Let's see. How do you apostille your federal income? It says I need to be notarized and certified. What is certified? What kind of income do you have? Because, okay, like with, let's just use Social Security, for example. You want to print out the letter, right? And then you got to go to the notary. Now, I don't know if you're here or not, but you got to go to the notary. When you go to the notary, they're going to ask you about the printout, and they're going to ask you to pull up the website you got it from to show that it's there in real time. Once they see that matches what you just printed, they'll go ahead and notarize it. The reason why they want to notarize it is because they got to send, I don't know what you're doing, first of all, but let's just say you're trying to get a visa. They got to notarize it so they can send it to the embassy, and the embassy's got to verify it, and then the verification from that point goes to the about to say U.S. government, Colombian government. So that's what they mean by notarized and certified. But I don't know what kind of income you're talking about. First of all, that's pretty wide open, because that could be VA income, could be your 401k, it could be anything. I was just using that for an example. But that's the normal process. Once you download that letter, you got to go take it and get notarized, and they want to verify where it came from. Once they verify where it came from, then they send it off. Great information that you are giving out tonight. Appreciate it, Dan. Let's see. Nicaragua, I think it's a 3-hour flight from Florida, and it's cheap. All right, Gary. Let's see. I bought an apartment in Colombia. I love Colombia. Cool. Glad you love it. No problem with that, dude. I'm in Colombia right now. Um, but again, that's your choice. Glad you made that decision. Probably gonna end up staying here for the rest of your life. Cool. Viva Colombia. Let's see. It's even more risky to open a business overseas because of COVID-19. Many Thailand businesses that were open are long gone. Even bigger ones like IHOP. Wow. Wow. Yeah, there was a lot of businesses down on Parque Yeris that got shut down. There was a lot of them on Street 35 that got shut down due to COVID. A lot of hotels that went out of business. You talk to Mr. Collins. People cut in line a lot there. Does anyone ever call them out? I hate when people do. You will hate it. You gonna hate it in Latin America. That happens all the time. All the time, dude. I remember being in the DR in line, just standing in line at the grocery store, right? Because in the States, we're used to being like this. Here, they like this. They up on you. So you gotta like tell them to back up. But anyway, I'm in line. The guy gets done. It's your turn to put the stuff up. If you like turn to look at something and there's an opening, somebody gonna jump right there in front of you and just start putting their stuff out. That's just, that's how they do it. If you in line at the bank, you ain't paying attention, they gone. They gonna just take your spot and go. That's just how it goes. You gotta learn, like I said, you gotta learn patience here. Let's see, I've been to Colombia. I've been going to Colombia for 10 years. I love it so much. As I go 4 times a year, super cheap for us with the US dollar. Now, see, that's the part right there, dude. Okay, Oscar, I need you to elaborate on that. When you say it's super cheap for the US dollar, what's super cheap? Elaborate, please. Please elaborate on that statement, because I'm going to show you just from using Oscar as an example, because he said he's been coming here for 10 years. He visits 4 times a year. Okay. Please explain what is super cheap here in Colombia, if you don't mind. Just to use it for an example. Please lay it out. What's super cheap here? Let's see. You have been very careful who you're associated with abroad. Don't hang with someone just because they're, hell no. When you go out, they may be a creep, cam, pervert, and you end up in, exactly. That's why Americans, I don't fuck with Americans. Because like you said, bro, you don't know who these cats are. They can be anybody online. That's why I don't do WhatsApp groups. All these people be hitting me up. Hey, man, won't you join? I'm not joining nothing. I don't want to be associated with none of it, because all it takes is one pervert that's being watched by the FBI, and some pervert that's been messing with a child here sends out photos to all the other perverts in the group. They all in on it. The FBI don't care where the photo came from. Oh, well, he just sitting in the group. Well, you in the group too, right? You accepted the photo, right? No. There's too much risk associated with being in WhatsApp groups or being with Americans, period, or being around tourists. Because again, you don't know why these people are coming here or what they're into. So as far as that part goes, no, I have no interest whatsoever of dealing with any Americans. I deal strictly with locals here. And these are mostly locals that I've known for a long time and their families. So when somebody new comes and I see somebody new at the ACI speak, I'm courteous. You need directions, cool. You want to ask me a question about something, cool. But that is far as it's going. I am no way, no how trying to hang out with nobody or do anything, especially with somebody coming from the States. No way. It's hard to conduct business with the VA in the United States if you have no money abroad. I'm trying to tell you, Mr. B, you guys know how hard it is in the States. Imagine being in another country and now you got to deal with it online or deal with it through emails. People just don't get it. Dog eat dog. Yep. Talking to Jay. Public service announcement concerning fax that can be done online. I've done it many faxes to and from the U.S. even to get an SF. Yeah, I know how to do it online. I had to send one to the VA recently to fill out what is it, release of information form. I forgot the actual number of it, but yeah, it's not hard to do online. I'm just saying, if you don't have the knowledge on how to do it, and you're thinking like you're in the States, you can go to Staples, you can go to Office Max. Yeah, no, that doesn't exist here. There's a FedEx here. They're not gonna let you use the fax. Not gonna happen. They got an office something here. I forgot what it's called. And no fax in there for you to use. No, you got to figure that out, or either go to one of these stores and buy a fax machine. And then you need a landline. Most of these guys that stay here, they ain't got a landline, or they don't even know how to use wireless to make it work. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. If you have knowledge of how to do stuff, you can get most anything done. Most of the people that's coming here, no. Let's see. I was approved through the VA to have an operation on my eye, but it would take the VA a month to pay the bill. So I paid out of pocket because you need a big emergency fund living overseas. Yes, sir. Let's see. Oscar, flight from Florida to Colombia, $170. What airline you taking? What airline is that? For $170 round trip. What airline is that, Oscar? Let's see. Brand new apartment with 3 bedrooms and a pool. Where is that at? Because see, this is what I want to point out to Oscar. First of all, what airline did you take? And where is this apartment you spent $60,000 for with a pool? And I'm going to give you the equivalent of what you bought in the States. And let's see what people think that's cheap. Where'd you buy it? Because I know you didn't buy it in Laureles. If you bought it in Envigado, you didn't buy it in Envigado, the end that's closer to here to me in Poblado. You didn't buy it in Antigua. No, I'm sorry, not Antigua, in Sabaneta, not for $60,000. So where'd you buy it? Let's see. I got tickets to San Andreas Island from Bogota. That's inside the country. That's cheap. Everybody knows that. You can fly from here to Bogota. It costs you round trip, maybe $50. What? Machimo? What is that? A real thing? Or is it? Are you saying machismo? That's a real thing if you're asking me that. Yes. Spirit. You flew Spirit here round trip for $170. I gotta see that. But inside the country, everybody knows that's cheap, dude. You can fly Viva, Avianca, all these airlines here are dirt cheap. That's inside the country. That's a given. I'm curious to know where you bought this apartment at for $60,000. Yeah, Avianca cheap. I just went with 5 people in November, headed to Bogota 3. Where's your apartment for $60,000? And I'm gonna give you the equivalent of your apartment in the States, and let's see if it's worth it. For $60,000. Hell, I know an apartment right now you can buy for $10,000. $10,000 right now. Right now. Just outside of Manrique. Would you buy it? Would you see it? Hell to the no. But where is this apartment, Mr. Oscar, for $60,000? Put it out here. Y'all keep telling people it's super cheap to live in this country. Sure, if you're going to live on the lowest end, you can do that in the States. I can do the same thing in the States. I can go to Louisiana, go outside a major city in Louisiana and find a place just like that for what, 50, 60,000. I can do the same thing in Alabama. I can do the same thing in Kentucky. I can do the same thing in all those places. Tell me where you spend $60,000 for an apartment with a pool here in Medellin. And I'll give you the equivalent of what you're talking about in the States. Sounds like a cardboard box and a homemade balloon. Machismo. Yeah, it's real here. That's not exaggerated. Yeah, I don't fly Spirit. Y'all know that. Hell to the no. That's ghetto ass. No, I don't mess with that at all. No way. No how. Y'all that fly, no offense. Hell no. The only reason I took that flight that I took is 2 years ago now. was because that was the only humanitarian flight I could take outside to get to Florida. That was the only reason I took that Spirit flight. And there wasn't many people on that one anyway. But to think I would get on that flight on purpose, no way. No way. There's a flight to Colombia on Spirit. Hell, but is that one way or round trip? Now, where is this $60,000? Didn't know that was. Where is it? Where is it, Oscar? Because I see Oscar has all of a sudden disappeared. See, this is what I tell y'all. People are quick to tell you all stuff to make them sound smart and to make them sound like they know what the hell they're doing. As soon as you ask them, where is it? Where did he go? Where is it? Where is it? Because if it's here in Medellin, I can tell you it's nowhere none of you guys would stay. I can tell you that right now. Where, Oscar? Y'all see where you got the flight? I see where you talking about going to Bogota. Oh, the apartment's in Bogota. It ain't here, because I'm about to say, if it's here, that's a lie. I already know that's a lie. Let me look up where this is. And I can tell you the equivalent in the States. For $60,000, okay. Because that's the story that people tell. It's super cheap here. Okay. Okay. The apartment that I'm in a 1-bedroom in a zone of 5. What's the zoner number for that apartment that you're talking about, Oscar? What's the zoner number in Bogota? Because this apartment that I'm in is almost $200,000. It's a 1-bedroom. What's the zoner number for where you at, Oscar, for $60,000? I'm curious. What's the zoner here? Elevation. Where the hell is this? Oh, this ain't even in Bogota. Where is Bogota? Dude, you way out in the middle of nowhere. That's why it's 60,000. I see why it's 60,000. Okay. Here's Bogota. That big ass piece of land mass there is Bogota. His apartment is out here in the middle of nowhere. You're right, you spent 60,000 for that. No, dude. That's in the middle of nowhere. Like I said, dude, you could do that in any country, any state in America. You ain't that. No. The only difference is you bought it in a foreign country. That's the only difference. That's why y'all got to pay attention. Because what did he start out by saying? It's super cheap. Okay, where is it? That's the next follow-up question y'all should ask. Where is it? Because just like this, he ain't even in Bogota. He ain't nowhere. Dude, he's a good 2 hours away from Bogota. Mr. B sounds like a hater. Mr. B, dude, bro, you got. I don't know how y'all live in the States. First of all, let's get something straight. Everybody doesn't live the same way. Okay, I get it. We all don't think the same. We all don't live the same. But here's what I hear when I hear somebody say something like that. It's super cheap. I spent $60,000 for a place with a pool. Sounds great. My very first question, where is it? And where this is in a small town, 2, maybe 3 hours outside of Bogota. That's not the same as saying I live in Bogota. Because what did he say? I'm outside of Bogota. No, you way outside of Bogota. You way out. That's just like here in Medellin. I tell you guys, I just bought a house for $20,000 with a pool, with security. Somebody gonna naturally say, "Well, where is it?" Oh, it's 3 hours outside of Medellin. That ain't in Medellin. How do you? That's the thing that gets me. You're not even in the city, and you trying to tell us something is cheap. Of course, it's cheap. Hell, I could go to St. Helena and find a finca for something like that. I could go to San Geronimo and do the same thing. Those of you who know what San Geronimo is, I could do the same thing. You're not even in the city. You're out in the middle of nowhere. And you're bragging about something in the middle of nowhere. Come on, man. Of course, it's cheap. I wouldn't fly Spirit Airline first class for free. Spirit Airlines is the Greyhound bus of flight carriers. I ain't trying to hate on my man for buying a house. I congratulate you for buying a house. But man, don't come on and trying to brag about a house you done bought out in the middle of nowhere, making it sound like you in Bogota. Because you said outside. No, that's way outside of Bogota. You should have said near Bogota, not outside of Bogota. Near Bogota, I would have understood. You out of the city. You out in a small ass barrio. Round trip for 156. I can't do Spirit. Scroll up. I did. Let's see. You skipped his answer. No, I see it. He in the middle of nowhere. Happy New Year, bro. I still see that headband got to change. What's up, Louise? He posted. I got it. My friend paid $100,000 for, and Bejo would never live there either. But that's over by the new mall. Let's see. It's not for me, but that's what I'm saying, dude. If that's the thing, man, and I try to be honest and I try to be real with you guys, and I show you guys these places. I try to show you guys these places so you can see, not me trying to explain, not me trying to hate or any of that. I like to show you guys what these people are spending money on. Now, if I go over there and I find this place and I show it to you all, I would venture to say 90 to 95% of you all would look at that apartment and go, hell no, guaranteed. You can hate all you want on Spirit, but 170 I got 3 or 4 times a year. Bro, that's just who you are. That's just how you live. Nobody's hating on how you. That's just how you live. That's just how you live. But I would never take it. No. Hell no. I know what kind of people fly on Spirit. YouTube is full of them. You see them acting a damn fool on a daily basis. No, I'm good. That's why I pay to fly first class to get away from nonsense and ignorance. It's not worth it to me to be on a flight full of knuckleheads that could get landed at any time because these dumbasses want to fight over putting on a mask or something stupid. I'd rather pay the extra. Zoner number. Yeah, I know you don't understand because where you bought it at, there is no zoner number. A zoner number, it basically describes the neighborhood that you're in. The higher the number, the better the neighborhood. The lower the number, the crappier the neighborhood. That's what a zoner number is. Yeah, Stratos. Same thing. Zoner number. You way north of Bogota. You're not even, it's not like you're in one of the small cities in Bogota. No, you're way out from Bogota. What he said, no offense, Oscar, but the fact that you support Spirit Airlines so much speaks volumes, says it all for me. Dude, that's more than an hour. From where I see on this map, because I did the damn, what is it, Google Maps. That's at least, according to Google Maps, that's over 2 hours. 2 hours and 4 minutes to be exact. Just to be to the center of the city. From Bogota, from the city of Bogota to the center of this city is 2 hours and 4 minutes. Why would anyone live in the middle of the city with all the noise and the pollution? Bro, you said you live near Bogota. That's what you said. You said you bought a house or no apartment for $60,000 with a pool. The first thing that comes to mind when you describe what you said earlier is Bogota, that you're in the city. If you would have said something as simple as I bought a place outside of Bogota in a small barrio, pueblo, whatever you want to call it, for this amount, that anybody can do that. That's not, like I said, I can go to Santa Rosa and probably find one for 20,000, the equivalent of what you got, or go Santa Elena, TTRB, El Santuario, Maranilla. I can keep naming them. You didn't do anything that's like what? That's like me going back to Alabama and me going to one of those small towns in Alabama and finding a house for $50,000. I'm not even in the city. I'm outside the city. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm telling you how cheap something is. That's not something that's fantastic. You can do that anywhere. If anything, I would venture to say you probably pay 10 to 15,000 more than you should have. I guarantee that. Living here long enough and talking to people here, I already know how they treat gringos. Because especially, and I don't care how good your Spanish is, I don't care that you're Hispanic descent, doesn't matter. You're not Colombian. You're going to get the same treatment as everybody else that comes here that's an extranjero. You're going to get charged more just like everybody else does. Just keep it at 100. For $200,000, you can get a 3-bedroom in an upper middle class neighborhood in Panama City. For $200,000. Okay. I know here for a 3-bedroom, the last one I looked at, yeah, it was closer to 3. It's probably like 275 to 285 for a 3-bedroom in this particular area in the Golden Mile. If you go outside the Golden Mile, it's a little cheaper. If you go to Las Palmas, it's a lot more. The houses in Las Palmas, those are big houses though. If you go to Las Palmas and say you just want a small 3-bedroom house, you're right at $500,000, a little more than $500,000. Because we went out there and looked at them. You guys have seen those apartments when you're coming from the airport, Jose Maria Cordova Airport, and you're coming into Medellin. There's houses that are like these private gates. There's if you're coming into the city, it's going to be off to your right. And you can see them. They're like real spread out. There's one that's like a whole glass front in the front of the house. It's just all glass. Over in that area, yeah, they're going to be close to $1 million. Out in the sticks, yeah. Out in the sticks, dude. I'm a realist. Happy New Year, bro. Man, this headband has changed 1,500 times. Different colors. The hell are you talking about? Dude, it's not 2 or 3 hours. How can you say that when it's 20? Dude, I'm looked on Google Maps. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just telling you what Google Maps just told me. From the center of Bogota to the center of that city is 2 hours and 4 minutes. That's like living in West Bamba. Let's see. I'm home now. So how easy is it to leave the U.S. and return? You need to handle any business. Markel, let me get settled. I will peek my head in. If you are live, salute to the chat. Let's see. Any apartment in the ghetto is cheap, bro. He got caught out there. Ain't no one flying on Spirit? Yeah, they are. There's a bunch of them flying on Spirit. He mentioned it as a Stratos. China has similar things. There they have tier 1 through 4 city. Tier 1 through tier 4 cities. Yeah. Same thing here. They the same way everywhere, dude. Pretty much. That's why I want to know what number it was. Because, like I said, Dan said earlier, people will come here and tell you, oh man, I bought this place, it's super cheap. Until you all see it. When you all see it, you go, you spent what? Yeah. Like I said, dude, the greatest lie people ever told is super cheap to live here. It is not. It's not. I don't care. Let me correct myself. If you're going to live like you in the hood, Yeah, it's cheap as hell to live here. If you're gonna live like you in the hood, yes, it's super cheap to live here. Friends that I know, no, they would never come here and try to live like they're in the hood. Now I know that might be offensive to some people, but I'm just telling you the truth. If you're gonna come here and live like you live in one of them dumps, wherever you come from, you got windows missing, your lawn grass as high as your house, you got broken down cars all in the front yard. You want to come here and live? Sure, it's cheap because you're gonna live the same way you live in the States. You go to every dollar store you can find. You're looking for every knockoff pair of shoes and clothes you can find. Sure, you gonna live like that? Can't argue with you. Cannot argue with you. But I thought the entire point of going somewhere where your dollar is worth more is to improve where you came from, not live the same or live worse than where you came from. Because if you coming from the ghetto in the States and you come here and you doing the same things you did in the States, walking around late at night, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, you walking through the worst neighborhoods, and you've been lucky that you've been here and nothing happened to you. Or you come here, all these places to stay for $400 or $500 a month that have hot water. Now you go try to find somewhere that's $75 that's just wide open. Anybody can break in there and take anything. You gonna live like that? Have at it, Hoss. Can't argue with you. That's just who you are. But don't come online, man, and brag that you bought something in the sticks as if that's something nobody has ever heard of. You can do that in Guarney right now. You can buy the land, the Lotus in Guarney right now, $5,000-$10,000 out in the middle of nowhere in the sticks. Put your house on it, cost you less than $20,000. Question is, who the hell want to live out there in the middle of nowhere as a foreigner? And people find out you a foreigner living out there? Okay. Like I said, I live in Beverly Hills and I lived in Compton. You know the difference. Well, mine said it's 2 hours and 4 minutes. I don't know where he gets 21, what he said, 21 minutes or 21 miles, whatever it is. This says 2 hours and 4 minutes. I'm just telling you what Google said. Can you flip property in Colombia? Sure you can. I don't know anybody doing it, but sure you can. I would imagine my problem with buying property here, keeping it 100, Ricky, my problem with buying property here or buying property in any of these countries is the value. For example, if you bought this property last year, the value was 36-1. If you look at that same property this year, you lost 400 pesos on every dollar you spent on that house because right now it's 4-1. So if I go to flip it, am I going to make the same thing or am I going to make a profit on something I spent? Say I spent $50,000 for it last year. This year, it's only worth 40 or 39. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem I have with buying property in a foreign country like this, is that the value, I don't know when you bought it or what you bought it for or what the actual value was. But all I do know is the dollar, the peso, it fluctuates a lot. Sometimes it's in your favor, but right now it's not. So if you bought it within the last year or two, you're losing when you weigh it against the dollar. Now, if you're selling to someone who's local, you may be able to make a profit. But if you're selling it from somebody like myself coming from the States, I'm going to look at what it's worth. And I'm going to look at what you're selling it for. Say you bought it for 40, according to the realtor, is only worth 35, and you're trying to sell it for 60 so you can make a profit. How does that work? And that's all I'm saying for you guys who are looking at buying property. You got to look at the peso to dollar and what you're buying it at now and where it's going to be projected in the future. Because it's not like you're in the States where your value is going up. Your value fluctuates here. What? I go there all the time. How can you say, dude? Look, I've never been there. All I can go is what this said, and then there was somebody else here that said it was an hour and a half away. So I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know. I don't know. We're just going by what you said and where it was. Yeah, that's true. They do get the gringos with the higher prices, especially in Cartagena. Yeah, you're gonna get higher prices. Hey, bro, what's up with your lady friend that used to clean your apartment? Lady friend. Which one who you talking about? That used to clean? Because I've had the same person cleaning since I've been here in Colombia. I got the same person, Maria. Has not changed. I can't afford to fly first class with 5 people. I don't know why you paying for why are you paying for 5? Your family is who you paying for? Spirit Airlines, Orlando to Bogota, round trip 179. Man, I can't do that. Mm-mm. Cannot do it. Sounds like a helicopter ride. As a matter of fact, in Guadalupe, the helicopter ride is $260 a person. That's right around 60, almost $70 a person. Yeah, that's about the same as a helicopter ride in Guadalupe. Wait, I missed one. JetBlue and Delta are cheap enough. Why would you subject yourself to Spirit? Just don't get it. They can't afford it. He just said you can't afford it, bro. And I get it. You know, you got a big family. You bring in your family. I get it. But man, I put it on the credit card and worry about it later. I can't. From the behavior you see those people on Spirit Airlines, no, I'm good. I'm good. Then again, I don't get why that weirdo would want to live with his girlfriend in a DR for only $750 a month. Yeah, I don't get that one. Other options, non-stops, are 400 plus. That's look. My last flight here, when I came back in April of last year, 2021, I took Delta. And Delta from Phoenix, it went from Phoenix to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Bogota to here. And I didn't even fly first class because they didn't have it available. The second class, what is it called? I forgot what you call it on Delta. Comfort Plus, that's what it's called. It was like 800 and some dollars one way. Glad to pay it. Glad to pay it. Could have flew any other? Hell no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's the difference. When you spending money for service, you getting the service you pay for. You get, as they say, you get what you pay for. You want to get on a plane, loud ass people cussing, throwing, spitting, and all that. Cool. That's what you do. Me, nah. Hell no. I'd rather fly first class than have a stranger in my lap the whole flight. That's why I'm glad Panama uses USD as its currency. Yeah, that's one of the reasons, man. It fluctuates. That money, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all gotta pay attention when y'all come to these places and y'all buying stuff. Because, like I said, if you bought it last year, you took a hell of a loss. Because last year, what was it, around 36, a little less than 36, and this year we're currently at 4-1. You lost. Whatever you pay, you lost. Yeah, Mario, bro. Maria, I'm saying Mario. Maria. Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. She'll be here Thursday. What's up, Gil? How you doing? There's a huge difference between cheap and frugal. Cheap will always get you in trouble. Well, everybody's different. Everybody's different. I can't say I've never taken Spirit. I let somebody talk me into taking Spirit a couple times. Well, one time coming from the DR. Oh man, it's cheap. You'll get there, no problem. You know, you just getting the big seats up front. You'll be good. Man, please, please. From just the going in line at the airport, the people getting up there, man, complaining about everything, bro. Everything. On the website, it tells you, and I remember this distinctly, if you don't buy your bags online, you're gonna pay $100 at the gate. Man, no way those people's up there acting a damn fool. I said, no, never doing this again. Nope. Mm-mm. No, no, no. Let's see, it might be an hour by car, but where traffic can be 2.5 or more. Uh, he's been to Islam. Okay, all I'm telling you, man, is what Google Maps told me. That's all I can go by. I've never been there. I've been to Bogota, but I ain't never been to where you are. Let's see. I don't know. I didn't know you did Spirit. Someone I took it and they said they lost his luggage for 2 weeks. Yeah, I took it that one time, man. I think I did a video on it, but that was on the old channel. And after that experience on Spirit, no, hell no, no. Because people get mad about stuff, dude, that's on their website. I can understand if they never told you, but it's like people didn't even read what was on the website. It tells you if you don't buy your bag here, you're going to pay for it at the gate, which is going to be $100. Cheap or expensive is all relative to how much money you have. I paid $750 business class on American Airlines, and to me, it is worth it. Yeah. As always, we're taught to buy the best your money can buy, or just wait until you can afford it. Usually, ATMs will give you better exchange rate than the airports. See, here's another one. Oscar, why don't you go to your bank in the States and get the denomination before you leave? That way you don't have to worry about an ATM or exchanging at an exchange service. Go to your bank, whatever bank you got in the States, they got the denomination for whatever country you're going to. That way, if you don't spend it all, you can take it right back to your bank. Your bank is going to put that money back in your account. That way, you never have to talk to anybody or do anything there other than you got your money on you. That's it. Every time I leave the States, I go to my bank. I get $50 worth of Colombian pesos because that's all I need when I first get back. That's it. I'm going to tip the person who's carrying my bags. I'm going to pay for my taxi to get there, and I'm done. That's all I need. And I'm not exchanging. I've never changed nothing at no airport because I looked at their exchange rates walking by. There's no way. No way. And the best bank here to get the exchange rate is, what's it called? What's it called? It's Scotia. They changed their name. God damn. Can't think the name of it now. But it's Scotia Bank. That's the best bank to go to. All these other banks, I don't care what it is, because I found one that gives you 2,000 Colombian pesos at one time at the ATM. But they give you a horrible exchange rate. I just went to it today because I needed to get 50,000 pesos to pay for something. And they wanted to charge 35. It's like 35 and a half, and the current rate is 4. Banco de Bogota, the other one I found that's 15, that you can get 1,500 out. Well, 1 million is 500,000, 500, 1 million is 500 at one time. Another one, horrible exchange rate, 36 to 1. You're losing 400 pesos on every dollar. Nope. The best one is Scotia by far. But the max you can get out of Scotia is 9. You can only get out 9 at a time. That's it. But if you don't care about losing money, whatever that bank is that has that large D on it, you can get out 2 millones at one time, but you're going to get a horrible exchange rate. The airport has become a hostile place now, in my opinion. Taking Spirit only makes it worse. Have you gone back to the DR? Nope. Anywhere will give you a better exchange rate than the airport. Yes, that's the worst place. Yep, I do that with Bank of America, but a lot of times I don't carry too much cash sometimes. Yeah. Your best bet is to get the denomination in the country, in the U.S. You can order the currency. Yep, you can order the currency on the app. What about Charles Schwab or Capital One exchange rates? That's really going to depend on the bank that you use, because all they're going to do is give you back your ATM fees. They have no control of what the bank gives you from the ATM. You got to look at what the fees are from each one of these banks and decide whether or not you want to accept it. Because the best one, I'm telling you, I found is Scotia by far. The only problem is they don't give as much as the other ones do. They only give you a max of 900. All the other ones will give you 1,500,000 or dos millones, but Scotia 900. That's it. That's the max they'll give you at the best rate. I know the caregiver program will change in October 2022. What if you have one disability of 70% or higher? Can you get the caregiver program? Can you get the caregiver now, or do I still have to wait until October? That's going to depend on your year of service. If you were in during the Desert Storm era, yes. And that's another thing, guys. For those of you that are interested in the caregiver program, you got to be 70% or higher. Just so you know that. If you ain't at least 70%, there's no point even trying with the caregiver program. You have to be 70% or higher. You can still do it, but like I said, it's going to depend on the era you're in. If you're in the Vietnam era, you don't have to wait. If you're in after September 11, 2001, you don't have to wait. You can apply right now. But if you were in during the Desert Storm era up to September 1st, September 11, 2001, you got to wait till October. They have no, what's this? FT fees and rebates, ATM fee. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the actual exchange, though. That's going to depend on the bank. Navy Federal, right, they'll give you your money back. They'll give you all your ATM fees back up to $20 if you have the, I forgot what you call the military account. But the other everyday checking account, they give you $10 back on each one. I'm sorry, they give you a max of $10 back on that one. So the same thing with Capital One and Charles Schwab. They're just going to give you the fees back that you spent for the ATM. They have no control over what the bank rate actual is. You got to determine whether or not you want to use that rate that the bank offers. That's why they always ask you before they give it to you. Here's the rate. Do you accept it? And I look at it, no, I'm not taking that rate because I'm losing too much. Happy New Year. Are the downsides still worth moving overseas as a disabled veteran? Would you recommend keeping a home base in the U.S.? I'm considering Mexico, but the gringo spots are high cost and okay, so keeping it 100. If you want to live overseas as a disabled veteran, even with all the downsides that I said, it's really going to depend on your knowledge that you have and common sense. I'm going to keep it 100. If you're a knowledgeable person, you're self-sufficient, you know how to figure out things or how to get around certain things, living overseas is not going to be a problem for you. But if you had trouble in the States, you don't really know how to figure anything out. You can't even get online to send an email. You don't know how to figure out the best exchange rate or the best way to get your money in case of an emergency. You don't even have money in case of an emergency. This ain't the best situation for you. For all the downsides that I mentioned, there are plenty of upsides to living overseas. There really are. Okay? There's plenty. For one, the people that are here, super friendly people, super pleasant people in all the countries that I've been to. I've never had a problem, knock on wood, with a local. Never. My issues have always been with fellow Americans. I've never, knock on wood, wherever it is, had a problem with a local. Never been in a situation with a local. Never. It's always gringos that come from the States that come with their problems that somehow you end up helping them and you end up being the problem because you helped them for whatever reason. That's why I don't mess with gringos. But if you're considering Mexico, just know this, and I don't care what country you go to, as a foreigner, extranjero, as a foreigner, you are going to get charged more. You should never go to a country thinking you are going to pay the same things the locals are going to pay. You might as well get that out of your head. If you hear a local's paying $300 to live in this apartment, you're not going to spend $300 to live in that apartment. Unless you got a local helping you get that apartment, you will never spend that amount. Never. And if you do happen to get in there, you're going to spend at least 9 months to a year up front to get into that apartment. And most of the times when you go and you see these places, you see the conditions, you see that a lot of the amenities that you have in the States, you're not going to move into that place. That's the other part, man. People love to tell you all crap online about $200, $300 apartments. You go there and you look at the places where they live. That's why they never show you all. They always tell you. How many of them show you? They're never going to show you where they live, but they just going to tell you where they live. Have them actually show you their apartment. They're not going to do it. Guarantee you they're not going to do it. But there are plenty of upsides to living in a foreign country if you got sense enough to handle it. If you're somebody that struggles in the States, this ain't the place for you. Just visit. Just visit. But before you move anywhere, I would tell you to visit several times. Visit several different places. Don't just go to one city. Go to a bunch of different cities. That's what I did. Look, I go everywhere. I'll go check out this place. I'll go check out that place. And then I'll settle on the place that best fits me. That's real talk. But never go in thinking you're going to pay what the locals are going to pay. That's not going to happen. Open bank. Yeah. I got 3 different accounts here. Used them for 5 years. If you buy an apartment in Medellin right now, the whole exchange rate is 4,000 to 1. You can wait until the Colombian peso is 25 to 1, and you can sell and make money. Yeah, that's man. Yeah. Like I said, dude, if you bought within the last year or 2, yeah, you lost money. Credit rating system. They got a credit. They use credit here. I have 2 different credit accounts here. But yeah, they use credit here. Most of the time, though, to get a credit account, unless you know someone, they're going to want you to have lived here for at least 5 years before you get like some major credit card or whatever. Because that's what I got to do is wait another year before I can even get an American Express card from BBVA Bank here. Creep Cam showed his apartment on his channel. I think he paid a few $100s. His bathroom is right inside his kitchen. My basement is bigger. I'm trying to tell you, man. For who was that asked that question? Sandra, about Mexico. When you look at the size of the apartments that a lot of the locals live in, especially coming from the US, you will not want to live there. I don't think you guys get that part, man. Is like the apartment I'm in is more of like a normal size apartment in the States for a 1-bedroom. I got a walk-in closet. I got a video on the channel showing you guys my apartment. It's a 1-bedroom with a walk-in closet, 2 bathrooms with a laundry room. It's more like what you would get in the States for like a middle-class apartment in the States. Here, this is more of luxury. Here in the States, this is more like a middle-class apartment. There's nothing spectacular about this apartment at all. Nothing, right? Even though there's the pool on the roof, the sauna, the gym, all that stuff. Yeah, it's middle-class apartment. There's nothing spectacular. But here is considered luxury when you go outside this area and you see where some of the locals live. Yeah. This is like they walk in, wow, looking around, they get in the shower, hot water, wow. They see the freaking laundry, wow. You know, the stove, the microwave, and all that, oh, wow. But in the States, there's nothing spectacular about that. Let's see. Colombians are so respectful and kind. I have so many friends there. It's the reason why I go back. Even my wife loves going there. Yeah, now I'm not gonna say it's every single Colombian. I don't want people to get that impression, come in and get the hell knocked out of them. But most Colombians you see here, super nice people, super nice. They'll help you and don't expect nothing in return. They'll take your bags if you need help with your bags. They'll open the door for you to get in the car. The police here, nothing like the police in the States. At least from my experience, nothing like the police in the States. Here, the police open the door, ask how you doing, Do you need any help? I remember coming out of the grocery store out of Jumbo's. Police was there. He saw I was struggling with a bag. Came over, grabbed the bag, asked me where my car was, walked me out to the taxi. That's here in Colombia. I've never had that happen in the States. Never. I live abroad 10 years. Never got the local rate. Where you live at? Where you live at, Mr. B? Let's see. They have Uber Eats there. They used to. No. They just have Rappi and they have iFood and they have there's another service here. I can't think of the name of it. But no, they used to have Uber Eats, but no. Mm-mm. Yeah, Rappi, iFoods, and there's three main ones. Of course, the some of the restaurants have their own little private delivery, like some of the pizza places here, they have their own delivery. I guess you're doing good there if you live in a high rise. Yeah, I mean that's the way it appears. But like I said, if you coming from the states and you just coming into one of these apartments, you really don't see nothing that's like spectacular about the place. At least not to me. Is the American Express card in Colombia different? No, nope. It's still American Express. Nope, nope. Same thing. With Rappi, you can get restaurant food and groceries. Yeah, at any hour, bro. If I needed something from the grocery store, or if I just wanted to order all my groceries, say from like Carulla or Éxito, I can get on here right now, order Rappi. It'll be here within an hour, and it's what almost midnight. That's how convenient it is. Uh, Japan and South Korea. I don't know how it is over that side of the world. I can tell you how it is on this side of the world. No, you're not gonna get the local price. Ain't happening on nothing, nothing. And if you don't speak the language or understand the language, even when you go into little mom and pop spots as a gringo, extranjero, you walk up in there, they see you. Oh, they already know off the rip you a gringo. All this about dressing and blending in, y'all fooling yourselves. Hell, even I can spot you. I know damn well they can spot you. You're not gonna pay the local price unless you with some locals, which is why I hang with nothing but locals because they know what the price of stuff is. We walk up somewhere, some guy give out some crazy. The girl goes, "I'm not paying that. Are you crazy?" Because they know what the prices are. I forgot what it's like to have nice neighbors. My neighbors are full of man here. Like when the tourists are not here, because they starting to let more tourists in here. But when it's just the local Colombians, man, you get invited to everything. They cook too much. They just knock on your door. Hey, I made too much. Blah blah blah. Would you like to? And most of them here in this building, at least, most of the local Colombians in this building speak English. You know, I be trying to talk to them in Spanish, and they be like, "Just talk to me in English." Like, okay, cool. Let's see. A guy walked in front of my car just a few days. Some lightly blew my horn. He walked around my car and yelled and screamed at me, shaking my head. Angry people everywhere in the big city. Yeah, even here, dude. I was shocked when we were leaving here, going to Sabaneta, right? I don't know if you guys ever paid attention. Those of you that come here, if you ever go to Viva Mall, on the backside of Viva Mall is the freeway. We were leaving here going to Sabaneta. They do have road rage here. I'd never seen it before, but they do. They do. That was a shock. I never expected to see that here, but yes, they do have road rage here. And COVID made it even worse. Yes. Now, as far as coming here, those of you that think about coming here, I know you only need one shot to get into the country. But I'm telling you guys, as somebody who just recently went to the movies, just recently went to the casino, just recently went to El Tesoro Mall and was trying to enter, what was it, the little playland for the kids, because I took a girl with her kid there. If you don't have, other than Johnson & Johnson, the other two shots, you're not going to get in most places. That's what they're not telling these tourists when they come here. Of course, most of the tourists that come here ain't going nowhere to park their years anyway. But you trying to go to the movies, you trying to go to any of these other events here, and you only got the one shot, and it ain't Johnson and Johnson, you're not gonna get in. They're not gonna let you in. I don't care what kind of PCR test you got, they're not gonna let you in. Not gonna happen. You seen passport Pookie in Colombia? No. No, 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 no. A lot of those cats are not gonna get the vaccine and that whatever. But here, man, they serious about that. They over the weekend, they've had this electronic website, but they're reinforcing it now to where's my wallet? That little paper card that they give you won't even matter anymore. You'll be able to go to My Bakuna here, the website My Bakuna, put in your ID number, put in your birth date, and say you lost your card, you'll be able to pull it up and they'll be able to verify it with a barcode that you got the shot. That's the other way they're doing it here, electronic, and I'm sure it's coming to the States. I'm positive it's coming to the States to where you won't even, that little piece of paper is too easy to make up. There's plenty of people here selling them already that have been caught making fake vaccine cards, but they're going digital here. So whether you, pretty soon they're going to tell you to just throw that card away and just pull up the website, use the app, and that's how you prove that you got the shot. Let's see, people in the suburbs keep the craziness inside their home, and the city is all out in the streets, I guess. Let's see, road rage in the U.S. is off the chart. Oh, I imagine it is. I hope not. I don't want to sit. Yeah. Let's see. I get therapeutic massage every day for an hour for less than $20 to my apartment. Yeah. I'm gonna get the booster. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get it, man, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna make it mandatory. It's just it was late getting Moderna here for whatever reason. So everybody that got Moderna, you're supposed to wait 6 months after you get your second shot to get that booster shot. So I won't be able to get that booster shot till May. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead because they're gonna make it mandatory. There's no point of sitting there saying, I don't know. Watch. It's gonna be mandatory. I saw it on the paper in Israel, they're doing the fourth shot for seniors. So I'm almost certain they're gonna make it mandatory. What the hell is all this in Russian? You need your shot in the USA. No shot, no job, or going to any event. Wow. Wow. So they're as strict in the US as they are here. So if you don't have your shot, you got no job. I didn't know it was that bad in the States. I thought it was just here and a few other countries. I didn't know they were doing that in the States. I saw that they did it with the military. Like they gave guys, hey, you got up to this point, and they only gave a few exemptions. Everybody else, you got to get that shot. But wow, that's surprising. Actually, in Bogota, they did ask in most restaurants, but when you leave the city, nobody. Oh yeah, you on a little barrio, dude. It's a whole different world. Nobody wearing masks, tapabocas, nada. Costco, the helmets, nada. Hell, we just go down the road right here to Antigua. Ain't nobody got on nothing. They outside walking around right now. No mask, no nothing. And nobody says anything. But you come over here, oh no. Hell no. You ride through here with no helmet, you won't be riding long. You don't have a mask on in these restaurants, outside these restaurants walking through the mall, you won't be in there long. TaylorMade Dreams is having a baby soon, bro. Good luck with that. Let's see. I'm getting that Antonio Brown vaccine card. Only in New York. Okay. So that's only in New York. And I'm like, wow. Because I know several people back home in Alabama that's got no shot, don't even plan on getting a shot. I know several here that live outside the city that's like, I don't need it. We don't go nowhere. We good right here. I was like, okay, cool. But the ones who work inside the city that's out in Guarney, yeah, they went ahead and got the shot. But to each their own. I have no qualms with people who don't want to get the shot, just like I have no qualms with people that want to get the shot. Hey, it's your body. Do whatever you want. All I would tell you guys is if you're coming here and you're not fully vaccinated, you're gonna catch hell doing anything other than going to your hotel if the hotels let you in. Because a lot of these hotels are going to that same policy. Even the mom and pop spots are going to the same policy. You got to be fully vaccinated to go in. So unless you plan on just using Rappi and iFoods and just going to Parquet Airs the entire time you here, yeah, you're not gonna be able to do much. Florida is cool. Yeah, I'm thinking about that may be where I go when I leave here is head back to Florida or head to Florida. More than likely Fort Lauderdale area. Not exactly sure where in Fort Lauderdale, but that's pretty much where I think I'll end up. Fort Lauderdale or Miami, one of the two, more than likely, when I go back to the States, which is probably going to be another 4 years from now. Yeah, Texas not having ain't having that. Okay. Parking years. I'm sure I spelled it wrong. It's all over. Yeah, that's where all the prepaids are. That's what most of the guys come here for. They either down at El Centro or they in Parque Years. That's the number one reason why they come here. Ain't no, dude, you got cats that been coming here 20 years. They couldn't tell you anything about this city other than Parque Years, El Centro, and their hotel. That's it. What I meant to say is Taylor Make Dreams having a baby with his Dominican girlfriend soon. Good luck to him. Wish him all the best. That's all I can say about that. Good luck. Um, yeah, I'm not interested in having no more kids. Three is enough. Three was more than enough. I remember those days like they were yesterday. Nope, nope. All the birthdays, all the school clothes, all the vacations, all the materials for school, the computers for school, shoes needed for volleyball, shoes needed for basketball, shoes needed for football. Nope, nope. I am good. No. I get a girl pregnant here. It was strictly on accident. Tell you that up front. And I'm sorry if it does happen and you go back and you look at this video, it was strictly on accident. Let's see. Good. I will put it on my list. Sasua places not to go. Man, Sasua gets a bad rap because of what goes on in Sasua. But if you like just go a little bit outside of where all that craziness goes on in Sasua, it's actually not that bad there. It's really not. It's like here. You have some people that hear about Medellin and think it's just one big trashy area because most of the people only show prepaids. But there is so much to this city that never gets shown, or just the area in general that never gets shown that people never know what's out there because they're too busy coming here looking for prepaids. They get off diapers is a pay raise. Man, when they turn 18 and decided, well, no, not even going to college, you still paying. Because they gonna call you for everything. Got one in there now. Needed a new computer. Wanted to get the latest Apple 16-inch. That damn thing cost. Well, she paid half. It still cost me $1,900 to get the damn laptop she wanted. It don't stop. It doesn't stop. You know. I've been watching videos about the VA clinic outside of Medellin. How happy are you with their services? They're decent. Um, I'm not gonna say they're like they're terrible, but their service is pretty good. I just basically go now for physical therapy, and all my other appointments are usually done online. So, um, And then the medications and stuff are delivered straight to the house. So I'm not gonna say, that they're terrible service. They're great service. It's just they just don't do as much as you used to in the States. Like when you go to physical therapy, when I was going to physical therapy in the States, my sessions would be like 2 hours and they would have you do a little bit of everything. Here is more like 45 minutes, and you basically just using the same TENS unit that you would get from the VA that they would just give to you. So it's not like they go like and do above and beyond what you expect from the VA in the States. They just do like basic stuff. But it's a good service. Tip Uber and Didi are great for getting around. Oh, I always tip. Everybody in this building know that. Daddy, give me something. Yeah, yeah. That's a non-ending battle you're gonna have right there, dude. If you got any kids, I don't care how old they are. Oldest one I got is 31. Still calls, still having issues, and you still bail them out because they're your kids, or at least you should, because they're your kids. So at least that's how I feel about it. Is it a good idea to pay for Uber and all deliveries abroad with a good credit card and just pay for local stuff with cash? Okay, so I don't use Uber, but when I did, I used my I'm just keeping 100. I use my American Express for mostly any payments I'm getting ready to make. Either my American Express card or I'll use my Navy Federal Black card, right? Because I know with those two cards, if something goes wrong, I'm getting my money back. There's no argument. There's no, well, we got to wait and see what they say, or you need to produce receipts and all that. When you get a certain level of credit card, like a black card, or you get one of American Express top card, what is it? They're platinum, not a platinum. What's the one that feels like metal? I don't have my wallet here in front of me. What's the one that feels like metal, not plastic? It's a metal card. When you get to that level, you don't have to argue with nobody about nothing. Hell, I can go tomorrow and buy a bunch of crap and decide I don't want it and try to take it back and they don't accept it. I ain't got to argue with them. I just call American Express. They're going to put my money back. Done deal. That's what I do. As far as with local stuff, I don't really do a whole lot of local stuff. I don't do the mom and pop stores. I don't really do anything where I need local cash. I pay mainly with cards, and I try to build up points beginning of every year. When I go to the movies, it's a card. When I go bowling, it's a card. I don't do mom and pop spots. I don't do what other local stuff is there to do? Yeah, like any of that kind of local stuff, I don't do any of that. As far as somebody's gonna ask, well, how do you pay your driver? How do you pay Maria? They have their own bank accounts. I transfer money from my account to their account. I don't I don't have a need for cash. I just don't. Even with deliveries, you can tip the delivery off the card. You can tip them 5,000 pesos, 8,000 pesos, whatever you want to tip them. You can add that from the card. So again, I usually try not to carry much cash on me at all, period. Hey, Markel, why you like renting apartments instead of renting a house? You'd be better off, I think. No, you're not. Okay. So again, I'm gonna explain this again. Renting a house here is a daunting task when you try to do it as a foreigner. I'll put it that way. Because if you don't have a cosigner, that means you're paying up out front for everything. Everything. Uh, the house that I looked at here that I was possibly looking at renting was about $1,300 a month. Since I didn't have a guarantor, they wanted 12 months of that up front. Okay. And again, you're moving into an empty ass house, no stove, refrigerator, none of that. None of that. You got to put up that money first, turn the services on, then furnish it. I wouldn't try to put that much money into anybody's pockets. Okay? It's a whole again, y'all think states. You all think USA. This ain't the US. This ain't the US. That's the number one thing you got to remember when you leave the United States. This is not the United States. Things that you can do easily in the States. I can rent a house in the States just off credit. Wouldn't have to make no deposit because they're going to run your credit. Here, as a foreigner, no. No. Doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank. Doesn't matter how much money you make a month. You need a guarantor. And you're going to come out a lot of money just to move into the house. And then depending on where the house is and who your neighbors are, because there's been plenty of cases here where people have moved in places outside the city. Next thing you know, they've been robbed, they've been murdered, they've been raped. It's a whole different deal when you're a foreigner in these countries. You can't look at it like you're staying in the States. I used my credit card for years and never had any issues, even less human contact, which I prefer. Yeah, I can tell you, dude. Credit card, build those points. Stop having those back to school flashes. It never over, and that's why I never had it. Yeah, it's never over. Yeah, you having kids, it ain't never over. I love my credit cards to give me money back. Yep, I will not do business unless I'm fully covered. That's why I tell you, man, American Express and my Black Navy Federal credit card. Yeah, I don't have issues. If there's something that goes wrong, I can get my money back. Howard, what's going on, man? My son had a T-shirt that says, "I carry no cash." Man, I'm waiting to see if Love and Freedom gonna pop up here before I get off. Let's see. Talking to Howard. Let's see. What was that? Yeah, if I'm living overseas, I'm living in a condo. That's the other one I forgot to mention. Security. You move into a house, it's just you, bro. There ain't no guards outside. There ain't no gate unless you're living in a gated community that's gonna cost you even more money. Um, and again, as a foreigner, I don't think people realize that, man. As a foreigner, you can't just go live off in the woods by yourself and think everything gonna be all right. You're a foreigner, bro. Even if you don't have nothing, people think you do simply because you're a foreigner. You are more than likely to get robbed, man. If you all go back and you look at the Colombiano, the last 2 to 3 months, there have been several people who come here, rented places out in Santa Elena. There was a girl that came from Russia, dead. There was a couple that came here from the States, robbed, tied up, didn't find them for 3 or 4 days. It's easy to say those things when you're in the States and you're thinking American, but when you live here, you understand where you are. No, you can't do the same things. Don't pay all of it up front. Even Colombians get scammed. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to. This ain't the States. Just happened to a Colombian friend last month. And you got to make sure the person, just cause they leave a sign, Oriendo, on the door that says for rent, that doesn't mean it's they're the ones actually renting the place. They run scams here just like they do everywhere else. There'll be a sign up. You think that's the agency. You get there, they ain't even got a key to get in the house. But they trying to get you to sign a contract to nothing. You understand what I'm saying? There's scams everywhere, dude. Everywhere. And as a foreigner, even worse, because you don't even know. You trusted everybody that you talk to. No. Okay, I didn't know that. So renting a house in Colombia is very problematic. You better off in a. It depends on the person. If you know some locals here who can help you, you should be able. You should be okay, and let them negotiate because they know what it costs in what particular area. They should know the cost. But if you come in here trying to do it on your own, hell no. Mm-mm. And you don't know nobody here, no. You better leave that alone. You much better off leaving that alone. People that have come here, dude, have been screwed so many times trying to do things on their own because they know I speak Spanish. I know. Okay. And get burned every time. Philippines, you need a guard. I used to visit my friend. I'm trying to tell people, man, you can't just, this ain't the States, man, where you can just go up anywhere. Yeah, let me get this house out in the woods right there. Nobody next to me. Okay. Next thing you know, you tied up or dead, and they taking everything you had. As a foreigner, dude, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. And people know what I'm talking about that live overseas, man. I guarantee you, a lot of cats that's on here right now that live in other countries will tell you, hey, no way in hell they going out in these campos and all these areas, no security, no nothing, in the middle of the woods by themselves. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen, dude. If you guys read the El Colombiano, what's the other one? El Tiempo. You hear about these stories. These are the ones that we know about. Okay, that's not the ones that we don't know about. That's just the ones that they know about. People being killed, left out, tied up for days before people find them, discover them. Like they haven't seen them in a while. They just go check on their house and discover them tied up on the floor. Foreigners, because they trying to be like they are in the States. Can't do that here. No. There are situations, man. I wish I could show this on YouTube, but it will probably ban the video. But there was a shootout recently in the streets here. Cats pulled up on a car, pulled a gun out. There was another driver in front of that car, gets out with his gun. They just shoot middle of the street. Pow, 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 pow. It's all kinds of stuff going on here, man. You have to be careful. And it kills me when people say stuff crazy. Well, it's safer here than it is in the States. What? They ain't never lived here, dude. Anybody that tells you that only visit. And they only visited the best areas. They've never lived here to tell you a statement like that. That it's safer here than it is in the States. They tripping. Tripping. I got a phone full of videos. If Love and Freedom was on here, he'll tell you because I sent him some of them. No, there's no way you all would even assume that is true. But that just goes to show you, man, how people come and they visit and they only in the tourist area and they say, oh man, it's great. Well, I can tell you the same thing about New York. I can tell you the same thing about California in the tourist area. You can go to tourist area anywhere in the world. Nothing's never going to happen to you. Go outside the tourist area in some of these hoods and see what happens. Same thing here. All right, well, I guess Love and Freedom's not going to make it. Let me hit him up on YouTube. I'm sorry, on WhatsApp real quick and see what he says. Because I was waiting to see if he would come on to add on to what I was talking about with living in these different countries. So explain to me just so I could know what makes it safer renting apartments. What makes it safer? For one, you want to rent somewhere you got security. So not anybody and everybody can just walk up in your place, especially if some of you guys who like to get these pre-pagos. That's why some of them get robbed, get knocked out with devil's breath and all this other stuff. Because they got no security. They being cheap when they travel. They want to come somewhere and do what they do in the States. And that's how they end up unconscious, robbed, and don't know what happened. So number one would be security. Number two, depends on the place that you rent from and the individuals that you know there. For example, if you were to come here to this building, they have owners who actually rent the building out instead of you going through a service. So you're going to get a better price going through the owner. But if you come on Airbnb, you're going to pay double the rate. I already know. I've already seen it. You're going to spend $1,400, $1,500 a month for the same apartment as $700 to $750. Already seen it. If you go to a 2-bedroom, you're going to pay close to $2,000 to be in the same building. I think a 2-bedroom here is about $900, $950, something like that. So, and then that depends if it's furnished or not. Like here, everything is furnished, everything is included. No issues. But for those of you that's looking at cheaper apartments, well, I'm going to put my own stuff in there. Cool. But you're going to spend a bunch to get in that apartment if you don't have a cosigner. You could get killed in an apartment also. Think about it. If you're not safe nowhere. True. That's very true. But it's a lot safer when you got armed security guards inside a gated building versus being out in the sticks with nothing but you. Which one would you choose? Armed security guards inside a gate, inside a building that has 28 floors, versus you being in the woods by your damn self. Nobody knows nothing about you because you're a gringo, other than people who probably pretty much want to rob you. Now I get what you're trying to do, Lewis, because you're always trying to flip things. You're not in the state, but instead of trying to get into a debate about that, please come to one of these countries and try it. Please go to a developing country, move out in the sticks in a house by yourself. Let us know how that works out. Costa Rica was safe. Okay. Man, that guy, I don't know, man. Mental health. You know, he might be a victim of CTE. That's what I think, bro. With Antonio Brown, CTE, man. I've been watching football a long time. I've never I've never seen nothing like that, man. Never. You know, we all know about the guy that quit at halftime, but he did that inside the locker room. He didn't throw his clothes off and run off the field in the middle of the game doing jumping jacks and peace out. Antonio Brown, man, I think it's CTE. I swear to you, I think he got CTE, man, because he's been knocked out several times in the game, and his behavior, bro, throwing stuff off the building, the furniture out of his building, and constantly in situations, man. I feel bad for that man because I know at some point he's gonna end up in jail. He's one of those people, man. Jail is just waiting on him. I seriously think he got CTE. I know a guy got robbed in the Philippines. Give me your money. Dude had 200,000 30 years ago. I only carried $20 in the Philippines. I keep telling y'all, man, people confuse what they do in the States with living overseas. Biggest mistake they ever make. Biggest mistake they ever make. Because they think they can do what they do in the States in a foreign country. You're not at home. And that's the biggest part they don't get. Anybody that harps on that has never lived overseas. They never lived overseas. People who live overseas know. If you don't know people in that community, you just coming out of the blue and you're going to rent a house. Nobody knows who you are. You just going to rent this house. And you think everything going to be all right. Okay. Now, I've been here almost 4 years. And I've been to many places here. And I'm sure I could probably go to a few places and I might be okay. But would I actually do it? No. Because there's too many times you hear about foreigners doing things and they didn't bother anybody. But because of who they are, they're targets. You're going to be a target here. Whether you got $100,000 or you got $10, you're a foreigner. And a lot of people here, not everybody, a lot of people here think foreigners have money. Based upon where you're coming from, they think you got it, whether you got it or not. You're going to be a target. Yeah, I felt safe in Costa Rica outside of San Jose. Yeah, they got to get the guy some help, real talk. Man, that's wild with AB on. Man, I'm telling you how it's going to come out. He got CTE. What's the safest place y'all been so far? The safest place? Well, I felt like there were no issues or nothing. I had to say it's Canada. When I went to Toronto, man, it was so laid back in Toronto, but it's just too damn cold in Canada for me. But yeah, there you go, Canada. For me, it was Montreal. Not Montreal. Damn, I just said the name. Forgot just that quick. Toronto, Montreal, yeah, Canada, man. Japan and Korea, the only people I was scared of was America. Yeah. Um, but yeah, man, I don't think Love and Freedom's gonna make it. I've been trying to hold on to see if he was gonna. Oh, he's typing me back right now. Let me see what it says. Uh, Let me see. I lost where it was. Damn, he typing something long because it's still going. Oh yeah, bro. I will catch you next time. I have heating issues here at the house. One of my breakers went out. We had to get some heaters from Walmart. Sorry, but I didn't get back with you. I thought maybe you were offline by now. All right. Well, he having issues. All right, man. Let me go ahead and get off here. I know we got kind of sidetracked with some of these questions, but bottom line is, man, please do your research before you go to these countries. Please understand when you go to these countries, you're not going to get the same kind of care or the same type of service that you're accustomed to in the U.S. You'll get service that's similar. You'll get service that's good, but it's not going to be sometime as fast as you would get it. There's a lot of issues sometimes when you're living overseas trying to communicate back with our government. So just know that, man, everything is not roses when you live overseas. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody watching as always. Until the next time, I'm out. Peace.